Hi, welcome to the Presidential Essential Podcast, a platform dedicated to engaging in meaningful conversations with individuals from various walks of life. Here we're going to explore valuable insights on life's challenges and the transformative stories that has helped shape their journeys. Remember, it's nothing political and everything spiritual. My name is Blessed Branco, president of Branco Brand, and I'm glad to have you join me on this podcast today. I will first and foremost introduce the podcast, dive into the vision that came about, and how the unique name came about. I will also discuss the purpose of the podcast and outline the impact I aspire to have through this platform. So come along as we explore this amazing journey together. Hi, so my name is Blessed Branco. My full name is Blessed Afolabi Branco. I'm a devoted husband, a father, a son, a loyal friend, and my personal mission in life is to serve others. And main theme through everything that I do has to glorify Christ in some form or fashion. And I do all different creative things, from filmmaking, as an athlete, as a basketball player, as a music minister, as a all different things you can think of, coaching, mentoring, anything that I can do and to invoke a positive impact in someone's life. So the vision of this podcast came to being roughly about 2 years ago. Well, technically, I would say this vision of this podcast has been a lifetime thing. So when I was born in New York, and I was actually born on President's Day. And my godparents actually gave me the nickname Mr. President. And at the time, they would call me that. As I was getting older, I was like, why do they keep calling me Mr. President? Like, what? And then eventually they revealed to me it's because I was born on President's Day. So if you guys don't know, President's Day is in February. My birthday is February 20th. So, and that's basically how it came about. Now, as I got older, just the way that I was carrying myself and growing, maturing as a young man, I started to actually kind of fit that vibe of being a president, not in the sense of running the whole country, but to evoke positive change in the life of so many kids through coaching basketball, through many people in the audience, through music ministry, whether at my church, whether at a concert, whether at even a farmer's market. And even today we try to go to like senior homes and give them free concerts. So just being able to hear their response from it, I was like, hey, someone had mentioned, hey, you need a podcast. So being able to share these gems to the next generation is really important to me. So we know, I feel that when you are tapping into the Presidential Essential, a lot of people may think, is this show political? But it's nothing political. So but it is essential. It is essential for the unique stories we're going to give with this. So I'll share one unique story. Growing up in New York, I grew up in a very, very tough neighborhood in Queens. There was this one day which kind of changed my perspective on life. And if you hear the theme song of this podcast, in the song which me and my amazing wife made together, it says, I wasn't meant to be here, I wasn't supposed to be here. And I was about 9 years old, and we had went to the park, me, my cousin, and we saw two kids playing. One kid was about our age, another kid, he wasn't like 16, but he's probably like 12, 13, and we were playing 2-on-2. At this time, I really sucked at basketball. Like, I was terrible, like, just like at all. And the kid that was on my team was actually really, really good. And he would kept crossing up the 12-year-old, and the 12-year-old got mad. He was like, "I bet," in a New York slang. "I bet." He goes by where the rim is, and there's a black backpack. He grabs a gun and he shoots him right there. So me and my cousin, we're like shocked. We're like, what just happened? So we look at each other. We noticed there was no bullets on us, so we ran. And where we ran was like, it was like by train tracks, and it was like a mile. But our adrenaline we was able to do it in like not even 2 minutes. We were already home knocking on the doorbell because we just didn't want to die. That's that fight or flight mode. And I remember that traumatic experience. I didn't even tell my parents, because when you grow up in a neighborhood like that, there's two things. You don't want to tell your parents, one, because we weren't meant to be at the park in the evening at all. Two, we didn't want the police to think we did the shooting. And another reason too is, if we snitched or we said anything, our whole family could be in trouble or get shot. So, but I share this story because it made me realize that at the age, I used to think gang violence and stuff like that was just an adult thing but when I realized that there's some kids that don't even make it past 12. Once I turned 13, I knew that I was already a success story. And it didn't matter what I achieved or how I achieved it. Just the fact that I was alive past 12 made it a success story. So I say this to say, really honor your life, really make a positive impact with your life. Don't waste it, because there's so many people who didn't even get an opportunity to leave that environment. And that kid was really good. Who knows, he could have been, as good as Kobe now, So it really made me, it's part of how I see things. It actually makes me have the ability. Now I know how to be in a room full of people who've been in the projects, and I also know how to be in a room in the private, like we're a private school where people are in the corporate, being able to adapt to both, because I know at the end of the day it's about people, it's about relationships. So the impact that I hope that this podcast will have on the community is just being able to have a safe space to kind of share their story. We're going to have all different types of guests. I'm really targeting more people who are older, because I want to have their wisdom. And then we also will get, other entrepreneurs, business owners, and athletes as well. But really, mainly, I want to focus on the older people, because I feel like they have a lot of stories to tell, some gems they can share. So that way, the impact is not only on you guys, but also as me. I learned in the process as we're in this journey together. So that's what you should expect, from the podcast. And like I said, if you know me, the level that I've been blessed to be able to achieve on the basketball side, I've come in contact with some NBA players. I've come in contact with, really, really talented music ministers. So just to give you an idea of the kind of guests we will have coming soon. I'm not going to tell you their names. You just have to watch the next one, so you can kind of get that. And yeah, you should look forward to all the episodes, and we'll get to, if you have any questions that you may have, we'll love to answer them as well in the upcoming episodes. So, also share Tell people about it. Tell your loved ones about it. And I just want to thank you, the listeners, for joining in. And the way you can find more information is we're on Instagram. We are Presidential Podcasts. On X, also known as Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. We are on there as Presidential PDC. We're also on YouTube as my name, Blessed Branco. Like I said, we want to encourage you to subscribe. You don't want to miss the impactful things that we are going to talk about on this show. It will literally change your life for the better. We're going to address all different types of topics, even stuff in the culture. And like I said, I want to create a safe space because I think a lot of times, even as a believer, sometimes people may not feel there's a safe space. But what I want to do is reintroduce them to the genuine Jesus, not the religious Jesus, because I'm against religion, but I am for relationship. So it will be a safe space, and then also too will be a learn and teach, and we'll kind of point it back to what the Word of God kind of says about this, and the example that was given to us that will lead to an eternal result, and you'll be more at peace. So God bless you, love you all, and I'll see you on episode 2.
6:24 on Sunday morning, a New York born started yawning. Stacy's first child, no he smoking, no he mild. Baby came out the womb with a gap smile. Say cheese, Dad knew I was heaven sent. Godparents nicknamed me Mr. President. Queen's legend, yeah, that's major S. Pop met the mayor, chicken newspaper, it's dead. Sincerely, fast forward to H8, where this